This is Ezra. He was diagnosed in 2018 at 18 months old with a brain tumor. And he's been battling ever since. He's never had a break from chemotherapy. He's never had a successful treatment, never rang a bell. At one point, over 3 months, he had 8 brain surgeries. He's really been through a lot. He had a major stroke on the operating room one time. And in January of last year, CHOA in Atlanta put him in hospice. And so the Spirit of the Lord told me it wasn't time for that. So I started to really fight, and we've ended up at Duke. So we've been at Duke since that time in North Carolina.
Thank God for all the people that work in medicine. I love doctors. I love all of the support personnel. If you're in the medical profession, I want to applaud you and thank you, because you're on God's side. You're helping people. May the church never be in combat, verbally or positionally, with physicians, doctors. They're working. They may be atheists, but they want people well. And that's what makes the difference. I love it when you get healed in the water, but I'm also equally excited that when you're cancer-free and you've gone through 12 or 3 treatments of chemo, however the Lord uses it, right? One of his followers was a doctor, Dr. Luke. There's never conflict there. He never told Luke to stop practicing medicine. Praise the Lord. In fact, Paul even gave a prescription one time. He said, take a little wine for your stomach's sake. He said, I'm not going to lay hands on you. He says, go in there and get something to drink it, and it's going to solve you. Are y'all okay? I don't know why I gave that commercial for all of that, but yeah, but I thank God. So he's at Duke, but you guys came here. What was going on in his life, in his mind, in his brain, and this tumor?
So, in March, we were presented with an opportunity to go see a surgeon in Memphis to get his tumor completely removed. We thought that was going to be the miracle, but the night before, we were in the hospital at about 11 p.m. They let us know that they realized they couldn't do the surgery. The surgeon saw what no other scan could see, and all of his motor fibers were through the tumor. So the Lord spared him all of that. And while we were devastated to have that door closed, I really felt the Spirit of the Lord tell me, like in Jeremiah 29:11, which I knew well, that there would be no more harm to befall his body. So we came home kind of downtrodden, but still faithful. And he's had to come off the chemotherapy clinical trial he's been on because of the toxicity. And so we were just kind of in a spot where we're not on treatment. We're begging the Lord for the tumor not to grow. We're kind of out of options. So we came here on week 326.
And this is you and your family in the water? That's you? And after his baptism, you started noticing something. What was that?
Well, we were here on Sunday. His scan was on Tuesday. And they noted that the tumor had grown a little bit, which was kind of incredible because we were expecting a lot of growth. But we did not let that news even steer us off course one bit. We didn't believe that the Lord was not working. We believed that he was working and that we just needed to hold firm. So over the last couple weeks, we've noticed the doctor told us to look out for facial weakening, right-sided weakening, to show that the tumor is growing and we need to get the scan sooner for the next one. He has not been on chemotherapy now, 12 weeks, and that's unheard of. We have seen his maturity went overnight from that of a 4-year-old, from his stroke, to that of a full 7-year-old.
After that picture, right? After the emergence, when you noticed that difference.
Yes.
Tell us again what 4-year-old to now a fully functioning, viable.
He's completely self-sufficient. He's bathing himself, brushing his teeth, taking it upon himself. He's having much more mature conversations. just a completely different mental status, I would say. He was very behind from all that had happened to him. And so we're seeing restoration of that. And then he had, and you'll show the picture in a minute, but he had a completely right-sided weakness on his face. He would have kind of uncontrollable drooling, like a lopsided smile. And the Lord has completely restored the right side of his face, and his right arm is getting stronger.
Now, there's a picture of him in the baptismal hallway. And this other picture was taken when?
Last week.
Last week.
His eyes are brighter. He has life in his face, his eyes, his coloring. He's been telling everybody, when he went to Duke and they said he still had a brain tumor, he didn't even let that downtrodden in. He said, well, the Lord is healing my brain tumor. And every doctor he encountered said, you keep believing that. We have seen it before.